Welcome back to Indonesia Highlights. Can we continue again? Talking about recommendation that you give to the government, would there be a sort of a follow-up to it? I mean, who's going to make sure that things got really pushed on their desk and somebody actually look at them?
That's right. One of the criticisms of the process is the accountability and transparency of what has been decided and done is not as high as it wants to be. And certainly from a business community point of view, we've been discussing that with governments. The governments are aware of the issue. We are proposing that we will continue to do it. We have, in conjunction with other groups in business, put out scorecards on what's been done.
Right.
So the International Chamber of Commerce has just issued its third annual scorecard on the G20. It's very hard to come up with really concrete measurement mechanisms because some of the ways that the decisions have been made in the past doesn't make it clear enough what was actually to be done and therefore how to measure it. So one of our recommendations this year is that you actually, as part of those actionable decisions that you make, you actually set out a series of criteria which will assist in the measurement of it in the future. So your comment's very true. I think it's one of the areas that the G20 needs to do a lot more on to make it much more accountable.
I heard sometimes ago some ideas being floated about doing some peer review arrangement or something. Is that what you're going to?
That's correct. Certainly the G20 are talking about what they call peer-to-peer review. We have certainly suggested that it be more transparent than that and that business could participate in the peer-to-peer review. The concern from many governments is that it flows back into the domestic constituencies if there's an apparent criticism of their ability to do things. And at the moment, one of the important factors to understand is that some of the things that need to be done to promote growth and jobs require structural reforms within economies, which are quite difficult issues to be done. So you don't want to disenfranchise governments from doing those hard things.
Also, you are hosting it in November, I think, mid-November. Where do you see Indonesia's contribution in that? Are you hoping that more participation from Indonesian business may help in the process, or?
Well, it's two things. We're holding a B20 summit in Sydney in July because we need to get all of our recommendations to government sometime before their meeting. Also, there's a joint meeting of trade ministers, G20 trade ministers in Sydney at the same time, and we're going to be discussing a lot of trade actions with them. So on the trade side, we'll be doing it with the G20 right away in July. The role of Indonesian business is important, as it is for every other country. It's important that we get a measure of developing and developed economies. It's important that we get Asian Pacific economies saying a lot more, because it's very easy for perhaps some of these things to have a certain bent from European and other countries that perhaps have participated in these types of processes more. So we're very keen to get colleagues from Indonesia, from India, from Japan, Korea, China, all contributing into the process. It's not necessarily something that's a common part of business culture in a lot of those countries. So we've been working very much with them over the last 6 months to encourage participation.
I'm afraid time is up for us. Thank you very much for sharing your views with us, and hope you have a very good B20 summit. It's July?
July. Sydney, thank you.
And the G20 in November.
In Brisbane.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.